Welcome to YouTube Pedia. Discover the greatest stories from history, science, and beyond. If you're curious about the world, subscribe now and join our journey through knowledge. Let's get started. Stephen Hawking, the man who defied the universe. In the grand expanse of time and space, few individuals have left an imprint as profound as Stephen Hawking. His name resonates not only in the world of theoretical physics, but also in the hearts of millions who admired his unwavering perseverance against impossible odds. His journey is not just about black holes, singularities, or the nature of the cosmos. It is about the triumph of the human spirit over adversity. This is the story of a man who refused to let a debilitating disease define him and instead reshaped our understanding of the universe. A brilliant beginning, childhood, and early life. Stephen William Hawking was born on January 8, 1942 in Oxford, England, exactly 300 years after the death of Galileo Galilei, an eerie coincidence for someone who would later be compared to the great minds of history. His family was highly intellectual. His father, Frank Hawking, was a medical researcher, and his mother, Isabel, was one of the few women to attend Oxford in her time. Despite their brilliance, the Hawkings were not wealthy, and their home was filled with books rather than luxuries. From an early age, Stephen exhibited an insatiable curiosity. He was fascinated by the workings of the universe, asking deep, complex questions far beyond his years. However, he was far from a model student. His handwriting was messy and his school performance was initially unremarkable. But there was something about him, a spark of genius hidden beneath his seemingly ordinary demeanor. His teachers recognized his potential, and by the time he was a teenager, he was already interested in mathematics and physics, fields that would later define his destiny. Oxford days, the young genius emerges. At the age of 17, Hawking secured a scholarship to study natural sciences at Oxford University, where he chose to specialize in physics. Though the coursework did not challenge him much, he developed a reputation for his quick wit and sharp intellect. He was not one to bury himself in books all day. He was sociable, fun-loving, and even took up rowing, a physically demanding sport that he enjoyed until his health began to decline. Even at Oxford, he did not put an excessive effort into his studies, but his natural brilliance allowed him to pass his exams with ease. Professors and classmates noted that he could solve complex equations in his head, a skill that would later become invaluable when his body no longer allowed him to write. By the time he graduated, he had already begun contemplating some of the deepest mysteries of the universe. A devastating diagnosis, the battle against ALS. Hawking's life took a drastic turn when he enrolled at Cambridge University in 1962 for his PhD in cosmology. He was just beginning his research into the origins of the universe when, at the age of 21, he started experiencing strange physical symptoms. He noticed clumsiness, difficulty walking, and trouble controlling his movements. After a series of medical tests, the devastating diagnosis came: amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. Doctors gave him only 2 years to live. The disease would progressively paralyze his body, robbing him of his ability to move, speak, and eventually even breathe on his own. This news was earth-shattering. For a moment, Hawking fell into deep despair, questioning the meaning of his life. What was the point of pursuing his dreams if his time was so short? But then something remarkable happened. Rather than succumbing to depression, he decided to fight. Encouraged by his fiancée, Jane Wilder, whom he had met just before his diagnosis, he found a renewed sense of purpose. He threw himself into his work with more determination than ever before, realizing that although his body was failing, his mind was still free. The rise of a scientific icon. Despite his declining health, Hawking's work in cosmology and theoretical physics began to attract attention. His PhD research focused on the nature of the universe and singularities, inspired by the works of Albert Einstein. He challenged existing theories, proposing that the universe had a beginning, just like a black hole has a singularity. This was groundbreaking and paved the way for his later theories on black holes and quantum mechanics. By the time he was in his late 20s, he had already made significant contributions to science, but his body was rapidly deteriorating. Walking became impossible, and he relied on a wheelchair. However, this did not deter him. He continued writing papers, attending conferences, and debating complex ideas with some of the greatest minds in physics. The mind that roamed the cosmos. While his body grew weaker, his mind became even stronger. In 1970, Hawking made one of his most revolutionary discoveries. He proposed that black holes are not completely black, but instead they emit radiation, now famously known as Hawking radiation. This discovery shook the scientific community. For the first time, there was a connection between general relativity and quantum mechanics, two of the most fundamental yet conflicting theories in physics. This breakthrough earned him international recognition. His ability to see beyond conventional wisdom and challenge the greatest paradoxes of the universe set him apart as one of the most brilliant theoretical physicists of all time. But his story was far from over. The world had only just begun to recognize his genius. Despite being confined to a wheelchair and losing his ability to speak, Stephen Hawking was on the path to becoming a legend. The man who unlocked the universe. In the face of overwhelming odds, Stephen Hawking did not just survive, he thrived. His name became synonymous with brilliance, resilience, and a relentless pursuit of knowledge. As his body weakened, his mind soared to unimaginable heights, uncovering some of the deepest secrets of the universe. From revolutionizing black hole physics to inspiring millions with his best-selling books and public appearances, Hawking's life in his later years was nothing short of extraordinary. In this second part, we explore how a man who could not move or speak without assistance became one of the most influential figures in science, pop culture, and philosophy. His legacy is not just about equations and theories. It is about the power of the human mind, the beauty of curiosity, and the unbreakable will to keep asking why. A global icon, the rise of Hawking's fame. By the 1970s and 1980s, Hawking's research had already made waves in the scientific community. His work on black holes and singularities had earned him a place among the greatest minds in theoretical physics. But he was not content with only reaching academics. He wanted to bring the wonders of the cosmos to the entire world. In 1988, Hawking published his most famous book, A Brief History of Time. This book was unlike anything the public had seen before. It took some of the most complex ideas in physics, the nature of time, the Big Bang, black holes, and the structure of the universe, and explained them in a way that was accessible to ordinary readers. Many expected it to be a niche book for science enthusiasts, but what happened next was astonishing. A Brief History of Time became a global phenomenon, selling over 25 million copies and being translated into more than 40 languages. It spent a record 237 weeks on the Sunday Times bestseller list, making Hawking a household name. Suddenly, this theoretical physicist, who spoke through a computerized voice and was confined to a wheelchair, became a celebrity. He was invited to talk shows, interviewed by the world's biggest media outlets, and even appeared in popular TV shows. Defying science and medicine. Doctors had once given him only 2 years to live, yet Hawking continued his groundbreaking work for more than 5 decades. His health declined further in the 1980s, and he lost his ability to speak completely after a tracheotomy surgery in 1985. But once again, he adapted. With the help of technology, Hawking communicated through a speech-generating device. Initially, he controlled it by moving a finger, but as his condition worsened, he operated it using a single cheek muscle. This remarkable adaptation allowed him to continue writing books, giving lectures, and engaging in deep scientific discussions. Though he could not physically speak, his voice became one of the most recognizable in the world. a robotic, computerized tone that came to symbolize not just his words, but his indomitable spirit. Groundbreaking work in physics. Even as his body deteriorated, Hawking's scientific achievements continued to reshape our understanding of the cosmos. One of his most famous contributions was his work on Hawking radiation, which suggested that black holes are not entirely black but slowly leak energy and can eventually evaporate. This discovery was revolutionary. It bridged the gap between quantum mechanics and general relativity, two of the most fundamental yet contradictory theories in physics. Before Hawking's work, scientists believed that nothing could escape a black hole, but his equations proved otherwise. Hawking also made significant contributions to theories about the multiverse, time travel, and the nature of singularities. He proposed that the universe may have no boundary, meaning that space and time may not have a definite beginning or end. This was a radical idea, challenging existing theories about the origins of the cosmos. A man who made science cool. Hawking did something that few scientists before him had achieved. He made science cool. His ability to explain mind-bending concepts in a witty and engaging way captured the imagination of people worldwide. He believed that science belonged to everyone, not just to academics, and he worked tirelessly to make complex ideas understandable and exciting. His influence extended beyond the scientific community. He became a cultural icon, appearing in TV shows like The Simpsons, Star Trek, and The Big Bang Theory. He met with presidents, kings, and global leaders. He collaborated with NASA and even made public bets with other scientists about the nature of black holes, often with humorous consequences. Perhaps one of his most famous pop culture moments was when he recorded his own voice samples for a Pink Floyd album, blending the world of theoretical physics with rock music. A philosophical thinker. Hawking was not just a physicist, he was also a philosopher who often pondered the future of humanity. He warned about the dangers of artificial intelligence, believing that if left unchecked, AI could surpass human intelligence and pose an existential threat. He also expressed concerns about climate change, nuclear war, and the survival of the human race. He strongly advocated for space exploration, urging humanity to colonize other planets to ensure our long-term survival. Hawking believed that science had the power to unlock the mysteries of existence, and he often engaged in debates about the origins of the universe, the possibility of time travel, and even the existence of God. While he was an atheist, he acknowledged the beauty and complexity of the universe, famously stating, "The universe doesn't have to make sense, but it does." A legacy that will never fade. On March 14, 2018, coincidentally on the birthday of Albert Einstein, Stephen Hawking passed away at the age of 76. His death marked the end of an era, but his impact on the world will never fade. His work in black hole physics and cosmology will continue to inspire generations of scientists. His books and lectures will continue to educate and spark curiosity in millions. His life story, one of resilience, determination, and an insatiable thirst for knowledge, will forever serve as a reminder that human potential knows no limits. Even though he is gone, his words remain. Look up at the stars and not down at your feet. Try to make sense of what you see and wonder about what makes the universe exist. Be curious. Stephen Hawking proved that the most powerful force in the universe is not gravity or quantum mechanics. It is the human mind. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our latest content. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and let us know what you found most fascinating about Stephen Hawking's incredible journey. Your support helps us keep bringing you amazing stories. Thank you for watching.